anything. So it was important that he gets everything he needs to say out and everybody captures what he has. And then
The drama surrounding Shedeur Sanders has exploded into one of the most shocking storylines of the NFL preseason. A rookie quarterback who was supposed to be buried on the Cleveland Browns depth chart is now at the center of trade rumors that could reshape two franchises before Week 1 even kicks off. What started as whispers has snowballed into a full-blown controversy, with reports claiming Sanders has asked for a trade and, not just anywhere, but specifically to the New Orleans Saints, the very team that passed him over in the draft. Fans, analysts, and even rival teams. The idea feels like something out of an NFL soap opera, complete with betrayal, regret, and the possibility of redemption. Cleveland's quarterback room already looked like a disaster waiting to happen before Sanders ever took a snap. Joe Flacco, at 39, still has the veteran presence, but no long-term future. Dillon Gabriel is an intriguing rookie, yet untested at NFL speed. Kenny Pickett, a cast-off searching for stability, hasn't lived up to early hype. Tyler Huntley is steady, but unspectacular, more of a placeholder than a solution. And into this crowded house stepped Shedeur Sanders, fresh off a college career where his poise, accuracy, and mental toughness made him a star at Colorado and a projected top 2 draft pick. Somehow he slid to the 5th round. Somehow the Browns were the team that grabbed him at pick 144. And somehow, before he's even taken a regular season snap, Cleveland is willing to ship him out like an afterthought. Reports suggest Browns owner Jimmy Haslam never wanted Sanders in the first place, openly admitting he wouldn't have drafted him. That one confession set the stage for everything that's happening now. Because in the NFL, if ownership doesn't buy into you, your days are numbered no matter how well you play. Meanwhile, New Orleans is living through the other half of this twisted drama. Saints fans already carry the bitter taste of draft night, when Sanders was still available in the 2nd round, but the team chose Tyler Shaw instead. Too many, it was the franchise's most glaring mistake in years. Then came the gut punch of Derek Carr's abrupt retirement, leaving the Saints scrambling with Jaden Henner, Spencer Rattler, and Shaw competing for QB1. None have inspired confidence. In their preseason opener, Shaw threw a brutal pick-6. Rattler failed to make an impact, and Henner looked overwhelmed. On social media, Saints fans were furious, posting things like, "Shaw garbage, Rattler worse we. Could have had Shedeur Sanders." Every highlight of Sanders in Cleveland became salt in the wound, a reminder of the player they could have had. And now, just months later, fate is dangling him in front of them again. The irony is that Sanders has done everything right since entering the league. In his very first preseason appearance, he lit up the Panthers' defense, going 14 of 23 for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns. He didn't just look competent, he looked like he belonged. His footwork was sharp, his decision-making clean, his timing precise. The poise he showed under pressure was rare for a rookie, especially one thrust into limited reps in a crowded depth chart. Fans noticed, analysts noticed. The NFL Network's viewership spiked to near-record levels. Social media was flooded with clips praising him as the steal of the draft. And yet, despite this momentum, Sanders is still expendable in Cleveland. Reportedly available for as little as a 7th-round pick, it's pocket change in NFL trade terms, a price tag that feels less like business and more like negligence. For New Orleans, it's a second chance at fixing what fans already consider the blunder of the decade. The situation is almost Shakespearean in its drama. On one side, the Browns, who have too many quarterbacks and an owner who never wanted Sanders. On the other, the Saints, a team desperate for a leader, drowning in fan backlash and haunted by regret. And in the middle is Sanders himself, a young quarterback who has shown flashes of brilliance but finds himself treated like an outsider by the very franchise that drafted him. It's the perfect storm for a trade to happen now during the preseason window when teams are finalizing their rosters. Cleveland wants to clear out the logjam before it becomes a distraction. New Orleans needs a lifeline before Week 1 turns into a nightmare. Insiders believe this isn't a 2026 possibility. A right-now move. All it would take is one phone call, one agreement on compensation, and Sanders could be on a flight to New Orleans by the weekend. If it happens, the ripple effects will be enormous. In Cleveland, fans would be outraged. You don't let a rookie quarterback with star potential walk for pennies. Not after he just showed leadership and accuracy in his first appearance. Every loss in Cleveland would become the one that got away. Haslam's decision-making would be under fire, and head coach Kevin Stefanski would face constant questions about why they moved on so quickly. For the Saints, though, it would be the opposite. The moment Sanders steps off the plane in black and gold, he would be hailed as a savior. Merchandise would fly off shelves. The Superdome would buzz with hope. Local talk radio would shift from outrage to celebration, spinning the narrative from draft blunder to trade miracle. Nationally, it would become the NFL's story of the preseason. Was Cleveland foolish to give up on Sanders? Did New Orleans just steal their future franchise quarterback? For Sanders himself, it would be poetic. The team that once turned its back on him would now be giving him the keys to their franchise. The chance to prove not just Cleveland, but every team that passed on him, wrong. The chance to write his own story in one of the league's most passionate football cities. It would be a twist worthy of NFL folklore, the kind of trade that reshapes careers and legacies. Right now, it still whispers. But in the NFL, whispers can turn into breaking news overnight. The Browns have a quarterback they never truly wanted, a depth chart clogged with bodies, and an owner uninterested in the hype. The Saints have a crisis, a restless fan base, and a chance to correct their mistake before it defines their season. The clock is ticking, and if these rumors are true, by the time Week 1 arrives, Shedeur Sanders might not be wearing orange and brown at all. He could be in black and gold, standing under the bright lights of the Superdome, ready to turn regret into redemption. Now, the question turns to you. If these reports are real, would Cleveland be making one of the biggest mistakes in franchise history by letting Shedeur go for so little? And could New Orleans, in one bold move, change the course of their season and maybe their future? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more dramatic updates from around the NFL.